Attention all staff, this is Sergeant Stadenko from the Sheriff's Department. We're bringing in an uncooperative ETA immediately. God damn it.
Hey, listen, man. It wasn't my fault, okay? The fucking chick, I didn't know she was a hooker, man. And then the fucking fuzz comes over. He's trying to fucking hassle me, dude. What the fuck am I supposed to do about it?
Hey, just have a seat. I don't care.
Listen, man, look, it ain't my fault, okay? Because I didn't have that on me. You didn't find it on me, did you? No, you didn't. So why am I here, man? Why?
Listen, you have a beef with the cop. I don't care. My name is Brandon Phinney. That this is the devil you know. Now bend over and taste your asshole.
Yeah, but grab a brew. What's up, everybody?
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? What are you doing?
I'm drinking some amber ale called Monk in the Trunk.
Nice. Hey, did you get those emails I sent you?
Emails?
Yeah.
Did you send emails?
Yeah, a couple of people. Remember all the emails about people that were wanting to be
the hate mail?
No, not those ones. The assistant position.
All right.
The assistant / Googler position.
Oh man, screw those people.
Yeah, fuck them.
There's only one name I can think of that I want on my list.
That's so fucked up. I know you don't mean that, and everyone knows you don't mean that. We've got some really good submissions, man.
We do actually. There's some pretty interesting people, and I think more than we thought. Really, like.
Yeah,
interest.
Yeah, and it surprised me that they were that interested in doing it. A lot of people. We want to thank everybody for really putting in their things here, and us looking for a single assistant has now turned into us bringing on us an assistant and 2 other people that are going to be doing segments on The Devil You Know soon. So
exactly, yeah.
We got
we're growing.
We're growing, and it's really cool.
It's growing pains.
Growing pains. Is it Pangs? I think it's Pangs. Pangs.
Well, I was thinking of Kirk Cameron, but because he's going to be our new assistant.
Oh yeah, that's right. Kirk Cameron.
We got to get him on the show.
Well, maybe our assistant can do that. That'd be great. But
who is it?
Well, wait. Before we announce the assistant, I want to just point out a couple of things. We want to thank everyone for sending in their submissions and writing their emails and things like that, and giving us messages, because it means a lot. It means a lot that you listen to the show and that you really want to be involved. And just because we did not pick you doesn't mean that we will not reach out to you in the future for our further growth. So don't get all butthurt. Make sure that you stay loyal, and we'll stay loyal to you. But anyway, 2 people I wanted to point out before we announce the winner. There were 2 runner-ups here that are now going to be part of the show. They're going to have their own segments. A wonderful young lady named Vix is going to come on The Devil You Know. That's it. She's going to come on The Devil You Know. No, I'm kidding. She's going to be on The Devil You Know.
Sexy.
Yeah. Doing book reviews from the Church of Satan's reading list and other satanic things, and giving reviews. Because the way I have it here, she reads like a book a week.
Yeah, and she's gonna do it all in the nude.
Right. When we move over to video, that's right.
Or audio too.
Yeah, because nude audio,
you'll be able
is
to
amazing.
hear. You'll be able to hear the nudity.
Right, because right now I'm moving, and you can hear flesh on cotton. Right.
This is HD. It's HD audio, right?
Yeah. It's just more sexier when you're nude. Anyway. She's going to give some great reviews, and we're going to see how that comes out. But then we have another person by the name of Christian Grant, who we found to be a very interesting young Satanist, and we feel that it is proper for him to come on and do his segment, which will be announced soon, about exactly what he's doing, because we're still in the R&D phase with that, because there's so much he can do. And
including explain to old guys what things like gender fluid and shit means.
Right, and what gender fluid tastes like and stuff like that. Definitely.
Yeah. Tastes like DNA.
Right. But I'm going to give you the honor of introducing our new assistant / Googler / other thing. And
Well,
yeah.
I think that the most impressive thing of all was that he booked the guest before we announced that he was the winner. He booked the guest this week for us. So
Yeah, he did.
And he's a great guy. He's talented, and he's a friend. And I just suspect that he's going to add a lot to our show. So please welcome our assistant to the devil you know, Mr. Adam Roberts.
Yes. Hold on, I'm gonna let the applause go all the way.
There you go. You got to unmute your mic, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can now speak. How's it going, man?
Great. It's an honor to be a part of the show. And, like I said, you guys are my friends, and we're just doing this for fun, and we're going to have a good time.
You've won.
Thank you. I'm honored.
You won
I won.
out of what was it, like 16 people? You won.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
No,
you are the winner.
That's awesome. We couldn't think of a better person than you. So, in fact, I think
I could think of two better guys to hang out with on a Thursday night, so that's perfect.
Awesome. No, that's really cool, man. So tell us, because you were telling us, but tell us. When I say tell us, I mean like tell everybody listening now. What do you plan on doing? What do you plan on bringing to the table?
Well, I like to see Satanism in action. I like to see people actually doing things in this world, making changes, and having an affiliation with us and a shared interest. So that's why I brought Brandon Phinney on. And, I want to bring some guests on that are going to entertain us as well, and people that we can make fun of, and just have a good time.
Yeah, we like making fun of people, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude.
And,
That's right.
You guys calling me to Google shit. And I type pretty fast for a garbage man, like I said. So I'll just kind of be in the background. This is your show. This isn't my show. And
Our
I think
expert Googler.
You guys do a great job at this show. You don't need me chiming in on everything, but I'll be in the background if you need something. Just holler. And yeah.
Right on, man.
Awesome, man. Yeah, just welcome aboard, and we look forward to seeing you dressed in a maid outfit.
Absolutely.
We promised everyone, so we can't.
Promised.
Yeah, I mean,
We did. We can't.
we can't go back on that.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Especially because other people said they would do it. So.
Yeah, don't make us regret our decision. That's funny, dude.
Right.
No, seriously, welcome. Thank you for our first guest, and we look forward to the next guest next week.
Yeah, and any ideas you guys have, shoot them my way, and I'm super good at spying and sleuthing and finding people. So, you drop me a name, and I'll do my best to find them.
That's your new name, Skip, because you're like a sleuth.
Skip.
Yeah, it's your new nickname.
Like a sleuth? A sloth?
A sloth. All right, man.
Skip.
Let's start this dang show.
Damn Skippy.
Welcome to the Daily Grind. Today I'll take you through just how easy assembling an IKEA Billy bookshelf is. Step 1. Lay out your parts and begin assembly by inserting 6 of the wood plugs into the holes in the side panel. 2 for the bottom flashing, 2 for the bottom shelf, and 2 for the top shelf. Carefully push the corresponding parts onto the matching wood plugs. What a tight fit. You'll want to repeat this process on the other side. Next, it's time for a good screw. Well, 8 of them, that is. 4 screws and 4 round nuts per side will help you secure the side panels into place. Your IKEA tool will make this easier on you. Once this is done, you'll want to slide the back panel into the grooves in the side and top shelves. Just slide it in. It should go in nice and easy and fit like a glove. Next, Take the 4 nails provided and hammer, hammer, hammer them in to secure the back panel to the bottom shelf. Finally, you can fill the remaining holes in the side panels with the 8 metal studs provided. I like the sound of that one. You can now place your 2 middle shelves. Look at that. It was easy, wasn't it? You've assembled an IKEA bookshelf. Happy book collecting.
This is Christopher Walken saying, if you want to get the one ring, I, Satan, is the place for rings.
It's I, Satanist.
Damn it. I, Satanist, is the place for rings. It's great.
All right, John, episode 71. What do we got going on?
Well, we've got something new. Since we have our assistant with us, /Googler, Adam Roberts, we're going to let him introduce our guests because, you know, the less that we have to do, the better.
That's right. I agree.
Adam, you're on.
Right on. Well, I'm honored to be on with you guys, first of all. Thank you. And this week, I decided to bring you guys state representative from New Hampshire,
Ooh.
corrections officer,
Ooh.
Army veteran,
Ooh.
and citizen of the Infernal Empire,
Hot damn.
Brandon Phinney.
Nice.
Oh, man.
How's it going? I had to let that applause out. All the way out.
I'm very
You there?
here, gentlemen. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. So what you been up to lately?
Well, I did work a 12-hour shift today, so I'm a little tired and cranky. But you know, that's a part of the job here,
Yeah.
and just busy representing constituents from my hometown of Rochester, and I'm still a slave to the big green weenie of the Army.
Nice.
It's busy man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
What was your 12-hour day consisting of today?
Well, for my day shift, we have a policy of implementing like 30-day posts. So I'm posted in the processing area of the jail. So I deal with the idiots that come in off the street who haven't been booked or anything yet. So I have to smell them and I have to talk to them drunk. And I have to book them and fingerprint them, and they're just all awful people.
Is this the jail or the prison?
It's a county facility, so it's county jail. So they're all pre-trial. They haven't been sentenced to prison or anything yet.
So do they come in like thinking that they're a hard ass?
Some of them do, especially when they're drunk and they're young. You know, they're people that come from parties who are just like, man, I was just doing my thing, and then you know the cops came in and they set me up, dude, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Okay, look, I didn't mean to say all that, all right, man? Shit.
Why do they do that? Like, why they get in there like, hey, look, it's not my fault. You know, this happened and that happened. Like, you know what, dude? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me let you go. Like,
Right, like that's gonna work, yeah. Why didn't you say so?
It didn't work with the cops, as you know, it's not going to work with me either.
yeah, there's a process. Shut the fuck up and go through it. So, so tell it. There's got to be some juicy shit, you know, because we've had another correctional officer on. I don't want to say his name, but his initials are Matt Stover, and it was amazing.
Spat-mover.
Spat-mover. He's got some juicy shit going on. Besides, you know, getting fucking clocked and fights and stuff. What goes on in your prison?
Well, I have to be honest. My jail, they're kind of full of pussies, to be honest with you. I mean,
I was gonna say it's New Hampshire, right? So I mean, like, are they getting in fights over what color the leaves are?
Isn't the license plate say "live and let live" or something like that?
live free or die.
That's what I said.
Oh,
yeah,
well, hey.
totally. And
Die
yeah,
in New Hampshire.
Well, we are dealing with a drug epidemic in this state. So there's a lot of heroin issues. And we have people trying to send it in, you know, to their friends and their family, and they think that that's going to get by us, and it's really never, ever going to happen. But when it does, because it does occasionally happen, they're just, I don't know, they just do stupid things, and they get in trouble, and they get more charges. And we had a kid, actually, the other day, tried to blame this on me, by the way, during the lunch hours, he punched this other kid in the face for talking shit or whatever, and tried to say that I didn't see it happen. And I'm like, well, I wasn't even in the room, so no, I didn't see it happen. But he actually went to court today and got 3 years suspended. So but they don't. They do take that stuff pretty seriously. If you get in fights in jail, that's prison time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's
nice.
So you got to break up some bloody messes sometimes, then.
Not really. I have a really good crew, so we tend to stay on top of things. We don't really deal with a lot of bad emergencies. Knocking on wood here.
Right. You kind of see like their posturing ahead of time and know what's coming.
Oh my god, I know their moves 10 moves before they even know their moves. They're all set.
No one ever got shivved?
No, we don't deal with that. If they tried to, I'd probably, they'd be on the ground so fast they wouldn't have a chance.
Man up, motherfuckers!
Nice.
Yeah.
What about how many homemade tattoo machines have you confiscated?
Actually, we did an entire shakedown of our biggest day room, and we did finally find, excuse me, what they were trying to make a tattoo gun out of. So they took one of the pens that they get off commissary, and they can buy TVs and stuff. So they were taking the copper wire from the TV connector that, like the cable cord, and they were kind of putting that all together to try to make a tattoo gun. They weren't very successful though, because we had to strip search every single inmate in the day room. We didn't see any new tattoos or anything, but yeah, so we're pretty on top of that stuff anyway.
I read somewhere that the perfect place to hide copper wire is in your pee hole.
I haven't seen that yet.
I think that would probably be one of the things that would just stop me, is just okay, I have to check people's buttholes. I don't think so, man. I can't do this job.
I see dicks of the day.
One of my best friends is a prison guard out here in the Sacramento area, and he said his favorite thing to do with asshole prisoners is when they do the search, make them spread their cheeks, and then afterwards he says, okay, now spread your cheeks on your face and open your mouth so I can look inside and make sure you don't have anything in your mouth. So they taste their own ass. You ever pull that one?
That's really clever.
I ain't got something to do tomorrow, dude.
So you've never done that?
We have to be careful as a county, corrections officer, because they're all pre-trial. They're kind of going through the court system. So we can't do anything to potentially get sued, because it happens quite often, actually.
All right. So off the air, are you going to do that now?
I'm gonna think about it.
Nice.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Wow. How about some any sex stories? Matt had some strange sex stories, I think, if I remember, or I wish he did, or something like that. So do you?
I don't think anything's happening in the jail, but I know of at least we had one kid who got out, who was friends with somebody who's still there. And he's been banging his girlfriend for months now, and this other kid found out about it, and he's working out extra hard. He's super skinny and scrawny and he's nothing. And he's like, when I get out, I'm gonna find him and I'll beat his ass to get my girlfriend back. And I'm like, dude, she's gone, man. Just let it go.
Come on, that's a good friend, man. To keep the vagina warm,
Vagina.
Fight for him.
Wow. All right, how long have you been a correctional officer now?
I started the end of September of 2014. I was there for 4 months, and I left for deployment all of 2015. So I haven't been back to work since last January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any crazy stories from being deployed?
No, I went to the United Arab Emirates. I was about an hour from Dubai. So suffice to say, I spent a lot of my time hanging in the sun. And one time I went to the beach and I jet skied for half an hour. So
Now there you go. That sounds like
Nice.
deployment to me.
yeah,
Sign me up.
like it wasn't hard being there. It was just hard being away from my family. Other than that, it wasn't that bad, honestly.
All right.
It's cool. So you didn't see any action then? You didn't like get to shoot at anybody or anything?
No, I'm an engineer, so I just build shit. And then, but I was attached to a field artillery unit, so they did a lot of training with their HIMARS vehicles. They were practicing staging to shoot the rockets out of the vehicles and stuff. So, and we were kind of there to work with the Emiratis and also the Jordanians because they're on the Syrian border. So at any moment, one of the batteries could have been called over to go to Syria, but that didn't happen. So.
Damn.
Yes, indeed.
Was it hot over there? It's like Arizona, isn't it?
Hot as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I lost a good bit of weight over there just from sweating out my ass, but you know, there's a lot of physical labor involved in what I do in the Army, so I didn't have to worry about that anyway.
Yeah, it's fucking hot here. I've been riding my motorcycle, so I have like I look like a reverse raccoon because my sunglasses has no tan, and then my face does. Good thing we didn't switch to video yet.
Yeah.
I'm actually shirtless because I'm in my own house, so fuck it.
That's none of my business.
I'm actually pantsless right now, but yeah.
So if you guys haven't already paid attention, I tend to curse a lot, and I know that it's gonna make
No
some
fucking
people...
way, dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
It's not fucking allowed.
It's unbecoming of a politician, I guess. But I'm 28, so I don't give a shit.
Wait, I don't know if we put this on the record, but how much do you make as a politician again? I don't know if
$100 a year.
Yeah, you can say fuck as much as you want, dude.
Fantastic. I do it at work anyway.
So what do you do there? Like what do you actually do? Like for the Did we go over that yet?
We haven't, so now we can switch gears and talk about the State House. Fantastic.
Nice.
Pretty much what happens is, actually, let me back up a little bit because I'm going to start getting confusing myself. So I'm attached to the State Federal Relations and Veterans Affairs Committee. Mm-hmm. So we deal with a lot of issues with Congress. We petition them to, get off their ass and actually, do things for once. And deal with a lot of veterans issues in the state. For instance, I was a co-sponsor for a couple of bills. One was to fund the National Guard Scholarship Fund, which helps people like me when I was getting my associates to help offset a lot of the costs of tuition and stuff. And we're only asking for $25,000, and there are two Democrats on the committee who are both female. Not that it matters, but they tend to be more the bleedy heart types, and they said, why are we giving all these money to the veterans? We're just creating special classes of people. And I almost lost my mind when I heard her say that to me. I have to be as professional as possible, but kind of here's where the politics comes into play when they're trying to play the whole party lines thing, saying, well, we don't want to give money to this because you're just feeding all the people that we don't like because we're all special snowflakes. So the other bill that I co-sponsored on that I thought was really important was establishing a veterans track in the court system in the state, which was to help people in the service who have done their time and they had exemplary service who have somehow come across the law and it kind of gives them a jump start to get into programming so that they don't spend a lot of time in jail, and then they can get their their charges annulled at the end of it, and they can kind of contribute to society again, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
So now then, did you have anything to do with wiretapping Trump's house?
No, and I don't pay attention
I don't believe you, but
Trump doesn't believe
I
you.
honestly don't. I don't pay attention to federal politics, and I'll be the first to say I didn't vote for either, Trump or Clinton. I actually voted for Gary Johnson. So, I've been pretty adamant about there being a third party option for the voters so that they're not always stuck in that two party mess, I guess.
Right. Alright.
Nice.
But on session days, they usually start at 10, and they're like once every couple weeks. At least it has been lately. They keep scheduling when I have to fucking work.
Yeah.
So try to like get time to work to go do that.
How did you get, like, what made you interested in doing that? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Good question.
I know it's not the money.
no.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was overseas, and I've been having issues with the family court system in the state when it comes to child support. I was absolutely getting raped over the coals with it. And I thought, things need to change for good fathers who do the right thing. When they have greedy moms who don't really do anything in life and who's still getting all this money for nothing. And when I already have my kid, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna run for office and try to, put some bills in to kind of change our family court system. And ever since I started campaigning last summer, they kind of evolved into more like, I guess, like overhead views of governance in general, and just about doing the right thing for people everywhere, and kind of honing in like what I actually care about as an elected official. So I haven't got to the family court system stuff yet, but I've been kind of focusing on kind of broad ideas.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yep. It doesn't take much to run either. I mean, you just go to your city clerk, you pay $2, fill out the application, and you're a candidate.
I might do
Now, did you just recently make an announcement that you were an atheist publicly in that?
Yes. I was hoping we would talk about this. So, at the end of February, I wrote a letter to the editor of my local newspaper in response to an article that was published talking about specifically a church that was being torn down 2 towns from me. And they're talking about historical significance and blah blah blah, and then they talked about the rise of secularism in this, in the state and the country and the region and whatnot, and they sounded like it was a concern, and I went, I don't get the concern here. So I wrote a letter. I pretty much said, well, we're not founded on religion in any way, so I don't see a problem here, and then the story was picked up by the Friendly Atheist through Patheos.com, and it took off from there. I even got postcards from people like, thank you for kind of, sticking up for the little guy, because he asked me flat out, like, are you an atheist? And I said, absolutely. So that's where people are kind of hung up on the fact that I can be affiliated with a conservative, faction of society politically, and still not hold any type of religious views.
Right.
And the conversations I've had from that have been very enlightening for me as well.
It's interesting how, like, you see people watching the world grow as more and more. It seems like more people are coming out saying they don't believe in invisible people. It's just craziness, and like. Why is reality so strange?
I know, like, God forbid we all think for ourselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Who forbid? What?
I take this philosophy class just because I like it, and a friend of mine is actually teaching it. But they talk about, like, the favorite thing from everyone that's philosophizing is, does God exist? And to prove that he does, and to prove that he doesn't, type of thing, going back and forth in the class is just hilarious. It's hilarious.
I've had to stay out a lot of those, like, is God real or not arguments, because honestly I see so many logical fallacies from both sides, frankly, that I don't get involved, because like there really isn't anything that can be said that hasn't already been said. I read all the new atheists, quote unquote, Sam Harris and Hitchens, me, and Dawkins and all that. So I know what they say, and I like to say, well, you know what, you should read their books, read A.C. Grayling too, like you need to understand like the concept of people that don't believe in God is centered around the fact that for one, there's just no evidence for it. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence that isn't concrete enough to say I cannot deny this beyond a shadow of a doubt. We never have had that evidence. There's just always circumstantial historical things here and there, but we don't have anything substantial enough to say there is a God and it's this specific God. And what's funny about that is I was actually a Christian for 20-something years, It took a long time to kind of retrain my brain to not have the presupposition that God is real, God communicates with people, and that, God even cares about this little speck of dust and this.
I was for 30 years, so I got you beat. Don't worry.
I think that my animosity towards it is kind of, stemmed from my long-term kind of indoctrination, I guess you could say. But I'm slowly not being as angry at myself for having been as involved as I was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to kind of be free a lot of that. And unfortunately, my mother, who's very Christian and stuck in her ways, has pretty much said that if we keep talking about this type of stuff together, that she doesn't want to really be involved in my life anymore. And that's really frustrating that people would be willing to kind of forget their own kids based on having.
So I don't even bother with the conversations with my parents at this point in their life. It's not going to change now, And it's interesting though. I think that a lot of times when you've grown up in that, I'm the same boat that you are. I think the anger that you deal with afterwards for a while, I don't even really hate the religion as much as I was mad at myself for a long time because I'm smarter than that. Why did I buy into this bullshit for so long? And I think there's just a frustration with yourself of, God damn it, why would I buy into this? And that's the worst. That's worse than now that other people believe it, I don't really give a shit. I don't care if they believe in Scientology for that matter. Whatever. Just leave me alone and we're fine.
My mother, growing up, my mother was Catholic, or she liked to think she was. And I remember, I got kicked out when I was 15, and then I needed to come back for a couple of weeks or something. But I had garbage bags full of clothes and my belongings, and she wouldn't let me come into the house with that stuff. I mean, clothes, like jeans and a frickin' t-shirt, without her wrapping the garbage bag with palm, and it has to stay in the cellar overnight before I can go into the bag. That's how fucking weird she is.
That sounds like some voodoo shit there.
Yeah. She's a fucking nutcase. And I'm like, yeah, Ma, great. And so anyway, we don't talk anymore though, but it's the best thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Unfortunately, it's sad that it's like that. And I actually have a family reunion I have to go to this summer, and they are all die hard. Pastors and worship leaders, my whole family, and I got to go to this thing and be the only. I don't know if they even know. They know I'm not a Christian. I don't know if probably very few of them would know that I'm a Satanist, but unless they're smart enough to pick up on it. But it should be a mind-numbing event, I'm sure.
And it's just so everybody knows, it's going to be live on The Devil You Know. So that'd be great.
Video and all.
Yeah. So
anyway, enough about us.
Yeah. Brandon, how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 28. I will be 29 at the end of April.
Wow, that's awesome, man. How old were you when you happened upon Satanism?
Oh, that's a good question, because I remember reading the Satanic Bible when I had a bookstore at my little strip mall, when I was still in high school. And I remember, I was kind of a Christian still back then, and I was, pretty into it. So I was like, oh, this is just ramblings of someone who's angry at God or whatever, and I didn't like the magic crap or whatever. And then I got older, and I went back to it because I become an atheist, and I wanted to go back to it and kind of reimagine, I guess, a lot of things that I kind of blocked out of my mind and put my blinders up to. And I was reading it again, being in the mindset of, I hate religion now and I hate Christianity because I'm so angry at myself for being duped, for as long as I was. And it made sense to me again, and it kind of placated a lot of that anger for me. Because I remember his words were pretty angry as well for the time, and I think it was, I think it was good to kind of have a lot of those feelings because it was very cathartic for a lot of people like me to read that and say, I'm not alone in this. And it kind of, it's been feeding a lot of what I already knew about myself and about how I viewed, my worldview and my reality. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not really a joiner. I'm not like a person that likes to put a label on things, but I'm a Satanist because these words are who I am. He's speaking about me as a person.
Yeah.
So that book was very important to me.
Yeah.
That happened probably, I don't know, Theo, what do you think? 2013, 2014? I'd say probably 2013, 2014, I think, is when that happened.
Who'd you ask that?
My wife.
Oh, get around here. What's her name?
Thea, you want to come say hi? No, she's way too shy.
Alrighty. Well, that's awesome. 2013, that was only about 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? 7 minus 3 is 4, last time I checked.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, so did you let anybody know? Did they wonder, or did they ask, or did you let anybody know in your family and things like that?
I assume it doesn't go well with politics, so you're probably not gonna.
My wife knew initially because I talked to her about it, and I was reading the book at the time. But it wasn't something I was, ignorant to. I did already know about Satanism. I just didn't really think about it until the time came to kind of put my mind to something. So, and it's what's funny is I still have a friend. His name is John. He's super sweet, super awesome guy, like the coolest dude that you'll ever meet. Not an angry bone in his body. I went to a show, and I saw him there, and we kind of talked about some stuff. And I mentioned, hey, I identify as a Satanist now, and he kind of just laughed at me because he's like super Christian, like super Christian. And he's like, no, you're not. Like, you still love Jesus and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I just don't, and I had to come to terms with a lot of things in my life, and this is kind of where I'm going now. But other than that, I don't really talk about it with a lot of people because they just don't get it,
Right.
Yeah, totally.
But I kind of like being on kind of like the fringe of society in that way because I feel like I know something that they don't know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why they're muggles.
Huh?
That's why they're muggles.
Yes.
They're the ones without.
You're a Satanist, Harry.
They are the ones without. Yeah. When did you join the church?
I put in my application, I believe, in 2014, and I got my red card about a year ago, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still kind of a baby in the organization, but
Yeah, that doesn't really matter, though.
No, I'm sorry, not a year ago. I'm sorry. I was still overseas. It was sent to me, so it was 2 years ago I got my red card.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
There are people who are with it for a long time that aren't too mature about it, and then there are people who just get it right away. So.
I do plan to apply for active, at some point. I just need to do all the application questions and all that. I know it's pretty extensive, so I have to kind of think about what I want to say and how I want to say it to make sure it's intelligent enough and it'll stand out. I'm hoping I don't want to, sound prideful or anything, but I'm hoping that kind of my positions and my successes in my adult life will kind of help propel a lot of that to say, like, here's somebody who's in government, who is very active and engaging about his atheism and even his Satanism to some people in the House that do know about it. I'm hoping that matters, and I'm hoping that will kind of help me along the way,
Yeah, and
nice.
you know what you should do? Like, you should go through the active membership anyway. Just go through it and answer it and look at it later and check it out again and go, reword it and things like that, because just doing that alone, even if you're not a member, anyone out there listening, just go through it and answer it yourself anyway, because you really do learn a lot about yourself. Because
I redid mine a few times.
Yeah, it asks you things that makes you, search inside yourself to know these answers.
Exactly. There is one thing that I'm kind of new with, is I became a board member for a group called Republican Atheists. It's republicanatheist.com, and the president actually lives in Sweden, but she's from Southern California. I'm not sure exactly where in California, I forgot, but we're hoping to kind of get the word out that there's a faction of people in this party that don't hold religious views, that are afraid to kind of come out, quote unquote, as an atheist, but still be in the Republican Party. And I think that we kind of want to be their voice. And I'm hoping that with my position in government already, that I can kind of coax a lot of other people to stop, I guess, trying to proselytize religion through the law, and kind of make everything secular for everybody, so that everybody's included, including people who are religious, because it is our duty to protect their rights as well. But I don't want there to be any laws that only solely benefit people of any type of religion. Like, we're not supposed to be a state religion type of thing. So if we can protect the rights of all people and not just a select majority, then I'll be happy.
I gotta say, go ahead, Brent. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
All right, sorry. I just want to say it's really refreshing that someone is out there. You happen to be a Satanist. That's great, but you're out there doing it as a Republican, as an individual, as an atheist, and not blanketing your any political agenda with Satanism and things like that. It's really, really refreshing that you're not out there doing what some other idiots are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I also was going to add that, it's such a touchy subject these days with religion, because obviously we have to be careful to go after any one religion can cause trouble for other religions, including Satanism. But at the same time, you got these make-believe, these invisible gods are causing people to do some horrific things right now, and it's such a touchy subject. It's like walking on eggshells when you talk to anybody. You never know what side they're going to be on, or So I'm sure for you, politically, that's difficult.
It's actually not. A lot of the people from this area, our state is the #1 secular state in the country. Like, we don't have a lot of religious dominance here, so a lot of people kind of have.
Wow.
Yeah, they kind of just have this like who cares type of mentality, because it's not a big focal point for here, for this area. But for the rest of the country that don't have, their public officials that are willing to say, well, I don't have a religious affiliation, but I'm still able to respect the rights of people that do practice it. They just can't be honest with themselves or with other people. They need to pander to a voter base. I will never do that. That is so ridiculous to me. But just be honest, be transparent. I've done that with how I vote. I always post what I vote on my rep page. I always post a link to all the roll call votes for certain bills or for all bills for that day, just so people understand like how we vote, what we're voting on, to keep people involved, especially for people in my age group that don't care about politics. I think that we need to kind of bring the age down a little bit more, so that candidates like me will get out there and make some good choices in life.
Absolutely. To add to Dorian's thing, it's really it's important, I think, that Satanists out there that are listening to the show that might be first phasers or might have this a little twisted, because I've dealt with some on my own, people writing to me, or I'm meeting people and things like that that call themselves Satanists, that say, well, we need to, I'm really looking forward to doing the work and destroying Christianity with you. And,
right.
We need to get rid of Christianity and we need to get rid of Islam. And I'm thinking, no. you got it wrong. You know, when you have the government step in on anything, they're going to step in on you too. And for them to get rid of a certain religion or harm a certain religion through laws, one day will just happen to your religion. So Christianity will destroy itself as it is, and other religions out there that we find, abhorrent.
It's been doing it actually, and the sad thing about that is that it's good to have Christianity because those people are so vocal. You know where the morons are.
Yeah.
You're like, these people refer to themselves as sheep, and they will happily raise their hand and say, "I'm a sheep," and you're like, "Good, now I know." Keep it at arm's length. I know where you're at.
And think about technology. In terms of technology, there's things that are out there right now. There's so much information out there, and people are waking up every day and getting away from the old rusty padlock, so to speak, and really opening up their mind and their eyes to things that they never would have. Like when I was growing up, we didn't have this information out there readily available in our pockets. So people are getting away from it, and that's why we're seeing these final death throes in the news. With these bombings,
absolutely,
and just all these protesting and all this garbage out there. Just it's what they got to do because they're just dying off.
It kind of helps for me that I've been a metalhead for my entire life, so I've always been.
Who isn't?
Sorry. Oh, yeah. I sang in a band called God Crusher. I mean, that's about as edgy as you can get about it, I guess. But
I change it to Ball Crusher. That would be awesome.
Well, there was a band from Germany called Cock and Ball Torture. Were pretty interesting, but I've always kind of used that band and what I've done vocally and with the lyrics to kind of convey like a lot of that hatred and disgust. But I got a lot of that out. I'm not in that band anymore. They kind of broke up after I went overseas, but I'm glad I kind of got a lot of that anger out. I'm not really angry anymore, and that was good to have for a while to kind of get rid of the angst.
We've all used that. Yeah,
it's almost ritualistic.
Exactly.
It was, and I kind of miss being on stage. But I've been bandless for a long time now, and I'm kind of worried that as I'm hitting close to 30, I'm going to run out of time.
Oh man, you're so old.
You got time. Come on.
I know, I'm so old.
I hadn't even started my best band by the time I was 30, so yeah, you got plenty of time.
Awesome. Well, listen, before we let you go, there's one question we ask of all our guests. What does Satan mean to you?
Satan. I like that word. I actually like the actual word Satan because I know what it does to people when they hear it. Every time it just makes me giggle. And yes, I'm a man, and I said the word giggle. Get over it. So I actually wrote something, if you don't mind me reading it.
Go for it.
About what Satan means to me. It's pretty short, though. It just says, Satan is the ultimate symbol of rebellion, the visage of human independence. He represents the burning desire of people to accept their carnal nature and reject suppression by holier-than-thou types. Satan is a symbol, an image, a reflection of man. True freedom and liberty resides in the independence of thought and action, not by joining the herd. So I wrote that thinking that the name that we take on as a part of our personhood is the name that rejects the status quo of society, of societal expectations of what a person's morality should be. And that's kind of the key of it. Our morality is not derived from, religious belief. I think it's a part of every one of us as animals to kind of survive and thrive. And that's kind of been my mantra as an adult with that. And I wear that name proudly,
Right on.
Yeah. So with that being said, what does Satan mean to you? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding around. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome that you took the time to put some effort into that.
Thank you.
That's great. Well,
Right on, man.
we want to thank you for coming on, man. And
Thank you. I really appreciate
it.
it.
Really interesting getting to know you.
I really hope to be back on here soon. At some point. I love talking to you guys.
Awesome, man. We'll
Sounds good, man.
Hit us up if you got something.
Tell us about any cool laws you passed in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I will say now that I'm putting in a bill next year to allow members of the National Guard to conceal carry while on duty. That isn't
nice.
that is not even a law already on the books. I don't know why. It's kind of whatever. But with all the shootings happening in this country, we need to be more prepared. For people that just trying to do their jobs. And they're a soft target without being armed.
Yep.
So
More guns equals less crime.
Yep.
Awesome,
Exactly.
man. Well, again, thank you for coming on. And until next time, everyone, hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.